All right, back we go doing another video. It is April 2nd, Sunday night, going over some ETFs, some different stocks, Bitcoin. Check out Bitcoin. This is nice Bitcoin index, NYXBT. This is TC2000 chart. Bitcoin's been on a run, and I have on my side here, I'll show a little bit later, FinViz. Now, Bitcoin has been on a run. Now going back to 2018, had that nice move up. Let's look all the way back first. Yeah, made it above 15,000. They consolidated pretty much a year, broke out above 5,000 to 10,000. Then it's like channeling, dipped again, 5,000, broke out right here, 10,000, and that was about September 2020. And it really started to move January. Look at this, 15, 20, 30, 35,000. It kept going. It was absolutely on fire. It went as high as it looks like 63,247.81. And then we had the drop, came all the way down. You can see it formed like a wedge here. I could probably make this one even closer. You can see here, very tight wedge here. And then it really consolidated about 30,000, bounced again up near 50,000. And then the low right here to here got higher. You're talking, 40, 41,000. And then we made an ultimate top, which was 68,000 for 1170. Yep, 68,000 for 1170. It tested it again. Then it came all the way down. Man, this thing dropped to 35,000. And we, bounced up and down. You got to like 47,900. Went all the way down again. You have 20,000. Tried to make a little bit of a move here in August. That was 24,905. Then it went sideways, then went lower. Now, what you see here, this is a massive, you call it a wedge. It's not super tight. A wedge is more, it'll form a tight move down and break out. But it's, you can see the width here. Or it's a, broadening wedge, which is broadening, but then shrinking at the bottom. So it broadened up top and shrunk at the bottom. You can see here the points here, the lows. These are all circle lows, lows, the high, and high. So, after that, we just did nothing pretty much. 20,000 went as low as, looks like 16,000, 114.19. That looks like the low. That was in November. And I have a line here for where we're at now. And it started to just, go sideways. People weren't talking about Bitcoin as much. Like, is it going to go lower? And then it started to move up. You have 17, then a big gap up. Started to move 19, got to 23,000, bounced to 22, came up to 25. Then a sharp move down. They thought, a lot of people were saying it's going to go back, test that low. Got to about 20,000, just below. It never had. Then this massive candle right here. This might have been on March 13th. Was that the day the banks had all kinds of trouble? It might have been that day. I'm not sure. And then this bouncing kept going. That's where we're at right now. We're at 28,560. Finviz is 28,148 right now. So it's about that. Now you see this. This is a broadening wedge, low to high. You can see here the low was a smaller wedge. It's broadening wider, which means there's more volatility will happen. This could come all the way down shortly, 27, 25. It could come down to 21,000. If this really comes down hard, but you have this trend line here. It's pretty good. It's pretty built in. You can see this like wave happening. It's going to go back up. So it's in a definitely increasing mode, bullish mode going long. If it keeps up this, even if it comes back, this could go and reach almost 35,000, 30, 35, May, maybe June. We'll see. Things will change or subject to change. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll see what happens in the market, because I think everyone too, the reason Bitcoin jumped, the markets, people, the stability in banks, all these banks crashing, people put a lot of money probably in Bitcoin, store their cash, a lot of different ways to store cash, gold, Bitcoin. The bank's looking horrible. You can see this big, like, sort of U shape coming down. There it is, going back up. Where's this going to land? Well, short term, like I said, this could keep going higher. You could have pullbacks. They would bring it back. See, it's another low here, a low, maybe the 23. They bring it back to. We'll see. But Bitcoin's been moving, gold's been moving. Recently, just as of right now, I'm looking, oil went up because they said they're going to cut production. So oil's up 6-7%. That'll hurt the market. On the weekly chart, going back, everyone's saying Bitcoin's this and trash, and I say it a lot too, but only because it's mainly moving because people jump in it and it moves like the store of value. Like, what is Bitcoin? People jump in it because the next person is jumping in it. Momentum. You can see the low back in 2017. It came up, but look at the low each time. So ever since really 2017, the low here, 2020, then it moved, and a low. But even though this drops from 68,000 where it was to 16,000, it is still bullish longer term because 2018, 19, it's still moving up the low each time, even though that was a big move down. So, Bitcoin bulls definitely would like that longer term. As you can see here coming down, you have this big U coming up. We're going this way now. Now it's getting really overbought. You can see here 97.65 on stochastics. So that's why a short-term pullback could be possible. Now let's look at the monthly. Something in my eye here. Something flew in my eye or something. Dust. All right, look at the monthly in Bitcoin. This shows it even more. Look at this low here. The low here, maybe like 1,200. Then the next move we want to 3,200. And then 5,100 and 16,000. So, each time this low has been improving. It is getting higher. So you can't say nothing about that. It has been longer term. This is moving up higher and higher, even though it's had a big pullback, and it was 2021, and then another one 2022. So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. This makes major moves up and down. If I was going to do anything, like there's so many coins and so many different things in the crypto space. Bitcoin and Ethereum, probably my top longer term. You're going to hold this longer term. Maybe this gets back to 100,000 in a few years. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Regulation still could happen. So there's a lot of things. It's very speculative at this point. But you can see this. Look at this going up. You're going higher each time. It's very impressive. And then stochastics here, you get the 2015 that moved 2016, where it really started to bubble up, starting to make moves. The low to high, you had a low to high 2019, and you had a low to high right here in 2022. See this coming down? Now it's coming up. That is a strong separation right here, the white over red. You see this right here in the bottom stochastic screen. So that's very bullish. You have 3 candles in a row that are bullish. It's very strong. Quarterly, you can see this big move up on that spike 2017. Another one. This was 2019. Then you had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles green 20 to 2021. Then we're in this chop here coming down, the big pullback, but you have a big green candle now. It got as low on the stochastics in the quarterly as 42.79. It looks like we're ready to cross over. See the space? You're ready to have white crossover red. It could be very bullish. The quarterly, like I said, 35,000. And I put in the retracement level. There'll be a 50% retracement. Because I did reverse now 100%. We're at the bottom. And it'll be 50% would be 35,000 from that bottom 100%. So we'll see there. There'll be a big move here, 30, 35. We'll see what happens if we get there. If they're going to keep pushing it, who knows? Or they're going to have a strong pullback. Like I said, the yearly, you see some big green candles, not much showing the yearly. So there we are. You can see here a huge move down that we sort of consolidated. Now we have a big broadening wedge upward. Small to wide means a lot of volatility is probably going to happen here. Now, would you buy here 28,000? Shorter term, the risk isn't that great here. I mean, you could get, that's what I said, maybe 5, 6, 7,000 out of this. You could have a strong pullback back to 26, or anywhere 21 to 23. So we'll see what happens there if we get a pullback there. I like to see that and come back. It's in this wave right now. You can see this with that low here and the low in January and the low in March. Looking on FinViz right now. So, yeah, that's why factors Bitcoin's running. As you have the banks, all kinds of problems. People storing their money in Bitcoin and finding a safe haven there, safe haven in gold. Other factors too. A lot of people thought Bitcoin was going to collapse below 16, maybe go 5 to 10,000. I actually thought it did. I actually thought it did. I mean, I thought it was going to go below 16,000. I thought maybe like 5 to 10,000. And if the market got real bad, maybe like 3 to 5,000. That didn't happen. The market didn't collapse either. A lot of people thought it was going to collapse. And I thought it would go and test that low, but it never did. Maybe this year we'll come back, test that low. But things change. That's why you change the market. You have to change your perspective in the market. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You move on to the next move in the market and all these ETF stocks, Bitcoin, etc. All right, so there we go. So look for Bitcoin to continue. I'd say 30, 35,000 could be a top area. If it really surges up for a pullback anywhere 21 to 23,000. And this low's intact. That's what you just got to look for. If it continues here, holds at 20 pretty much, 21,000, and it pulls back there and it keeps going up. It's really strong long. So that's where we are now. So Bitcoin longs are looking good. And even longer term, like I said, you're holding this 3, 5, 10 years, who knows? There's a lot of things. Regulation, how's this going to play out? Like, what is Bitcoin to the market and everything else? What is the correlation? It seems to run with the NASDAQ, but then it changed and it's on its own path now. Although the NASDAQ is running well too. So, we'll see how this plays. But I definitely longer term would look for Bitcoin and Ethereum. That would be my longer term plays. There's so many coins and all kinds of crazy stuff. A lot of them, there's no way they're going to last. There's no way I would put like all my money in that and like some of these like penny stock coins. That's just pure like you're gambling. It's pure, you're taking a lottery play there. So be careful with that. All right, so that's it on Bitcoin. It's running well, and we will see what happens this week. That's it. Please subscribe to Mike Cannon Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. Check out any other social media I have. TikTok at Mike Cannon Trades. That's it. Peace.